Hey guys, Penem here again. Today, we got the Legendary Dragon decks. Something very interesting that I've been honestly following since it was first announced, and honestly, very glad about what we're going to be able to get in here. Look at this. For those of you who didn't see this, the little leaks, we have a card that was very sought after because it was a very expensive card, Apprentice Illusion Magician, and we have three reprints actually that are very interesting for any Dark Magician deck, and we have a brand new TCG exclusive card per deck, and we have three of those. We have the basically, they call it Legendary Dragons of Atlantis deck, but it's mostly Dark Magician support and other, let's call them the Legendary Dragon of the last arc of Yu-Gi-Oh!, the original series. Here we have the Cyber Dragon deck with a brand new exclusive to the TCG Fusion, which is honestly very powerful. We'll go over it once we open the deck. And we have the Dimensional Dragons deck, which is basically Arc 5 with Z-Arc and stuff, but it's not quite Z-Arc at this point. It's just like they have all the different dragons together. So yeah, this is a very interesting box. Thing is, I only bought two because I did not believe that we would need to have more than two copies of any of these cards for decks. That I don't already own the copies of the other cards to make the decks. So yeah, basically you guys can expect at least a Dark Magician deck profile coming up pretty soon. I'll just be needing one more card that is not included in two of these openings. But for now, we have the Legendary Dragon decks. And honestly, you guys, I recommend buying this for the sheer stuff you can get in here. So we have all three decks, and we have the incredibly deep box for no reason. Obviously, you were probably meant to... Oh, wow, okay, it's not even... The sides don't even go all the way to the bottom. It's literally just for them not to move in the box at this point. But the box does make a nice little storage. And it gives us something to have in the back over here. There we go. We see Chibi Yugi's face. We have all three of our decks. And we have the awesome Legendary Dragon deck's background. There we go. So let's get cracking. So, as I said, I do really recommend buying this for anyone who wants to make one of these decks, obviously. But also because there are some very good reprints of other cards, not just the cards going with the themes. We have a lot of good Mirror Force cards in the Cyber deck. And in the other decks, well, you'll just see what they have. So we have Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Very powerful. Basically, this allows you to protect your Eternal Soul. And honestly, this card is also named Dark Magician. So Eternal Soul protects this, and this protects Eternal Soul. Good luck destroying both of them without having to go over 3,000 attack by battle. So yeah, this is a very good combo. The only thing is that Eye of Timaeus used to summon this is not a searchable card, so it makes it a little harder to summon than most of the other cards in the deck. But at the same time, I mean, it's a Dark Magician deck. You don't really need to go into big cards like that. But yeah, very cool card. Very sought after Apprentice Illusion Magician. No one thought it would be reprinted this fast, but honestly, this is insanely good. Look at this. Wow. So this was printed originally in the Shonen Jump magazine, and the card was like $150 until it was announced as a reprint in here. And honestly, people did not believe it at first. It went way too fast for a reprint, but here it is, people. Get your Apprentice Illusion Magician for either $35 Canadian for the whole box, or you just pay, like, I guess it's $15 Canadian for just a card, which is probably what I'm going to do to get a third one, because I only bought two of these boxes. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to buy a third one. But yeah, awesome card right there. Dark Magical Circle and Magician's Navigation. Originally, they were very valuable. They got reprinted in the latest Megatin, and they just got like a month after another reprint. So that's crazy, but these two cards aren't necessary for any Dark Magician deck. And we have Eternal Soul, which was only printed once, I believe, in the TCG. But this is pretty good for any Dark Magician deck. I mean, you can recycle your Dark Magicians, you can search some stuff, and you get to protect your Dark Magicians on the field. But if it does get destroyed while it was face up on your side of the field, all Dark Magician monsters, just all Dark Magician in your monster zones are, wait. All monsters you control will be destroyed, not all Dark Magician. But yeah, I mean, it's a steep price to pay. It's a steep price to pay, but it is worth it, guys. I mean, this card is amazeballs in this deck. We have Dark Magician, obviously, and Dark Magician Girl over here. We have Magician's Robe, which is very, very good for the deck. And we have 2 more copies of Dark Magician. Honestly, why did they not put them together? I don't know. And we have another copy of Magician's Robe. 2 copies of Magician's Rod. So Magician's Rod is the one that is searching in your deck for cards that specifically list Dark Magician for a spell or trap, pardon me. While Magician's Robe is the one that special summons itself pretty easily. Skilled Dark Magician 3 times. It is pretty rare for Konami, at least in the TCG, to print multiple copies in this large amounts for any deck, really. Doesn't happen too often, but here it's ridiculous. You get Skilled Dark Magician 3 times, Dark Magician 3 times, these cards twice. It's insane. And now we're at the Atlantis part of the name. Why they called this Legendary Dragons, basically. So we have Legendary Knight Timaeus, Legendary Knight Critias, and oh wait, the third one isn't there. Huh. I thought there would be Hermos. Where is Hermos? Well, that's mind-boggling. Okay, well, we have 2 of them, so that's pretty good already. So these 2 guys, well, they're more of an anime-oriented thing, really, because they can't really be played too competitively, but they are still pretty cool. They do have some pretty basic but good effects. They are pretty hard to summon, though, so we'll skip them for now, but if you guys really want to know their effects, just pause the vid right here and read them. They are pretty decent overall. We have Breaker, the Magical Warrior, Magical Exemplar, so basically spell trap destruction and spell counters used to special summon. We have Big Shield Gardna because Yugi just loves to stall. And we have Absolute Crusader twice. This guy, I don't remember the effect at all, but I know is pretty good. If a level 5 or higher monster is special summoned, you can tribute this face-up card and destroy that level 5 or higher monster. So it's good against fusion decks, it's good against pendulum decks, it's good against normal basic decks that use tribute summons or whatever. Well, not tribute summons, but tribute summonable monsters. The only weakness this card really has is that you need to not play against XYZs or Exceeds, and you need to not play against Link decks. So this card is not as relevant as it could have been at some point. But it is a warrior, so it's pretty easily searchable, or the attack is easily boosted, but it's already got 1800. Honestly, it's not bad. You could probably run this in a Gauki deck. Not saying you should, but you could run this in a Gauki deck, because it is Earth. So you can do your combos with Mrs. Radiant and stuff. Whatever. We have Dark Magic Curtain. We have Illusion Magic. So this special summons, if you didn't know the effect, you can pay half your life points to special summon a Dark Magician from your deck, but you can't do much more summoning that turn. Illusion Magic, Dark Magic Expand, 2 very, very interesting reprints. Dark Magic Inheritance, another very interesting reprint. And you can see Dark Magician Girl, Hatless. Oh, the scandal. Huh. Thousand Knives, Dark Magic Attack, the Eye of Timaeus, or Timaeus, or whatever way you guys want to call it. This is the card you want to use on Dark Magician to special summon your big guy over here, Dark Magician, the Dragon Knight. Honestly, it is worth it. You guys should play at least 1 or 2 Eye of Timaeus to make the combos. The Fang of Critias, and the Claw of Hermos. So the 2 other legendary Atlantis dragons, basically. So you have the playset over here. Well, not the playset, but the full archetype, I guess. The only thing is, it is weird that you do not get Hermos, but only Critias and Timaeus. Oh well. We have Legend of Heart, which is the card needed to go even further with the warriors, the legendary night monsters. We have Sword of Revealing Light to stall, Pot of Duality to draw, Reinforcement of the Army to search for, well, guess one of these 3 guys. Because that's pretty much all the warriors. Oh, wait, no, wait, you can't search for those guys. So yeah, no, you have 3 targets for reinforcement, but you still do have all 3 of them. Dark Renewal, a pretty cool reprint we have here. It was released originally with Eternal Souls, so it is pretty cool to have it. It does allow you to do a lot of combos. Crush Card Virus, Mirror Force, Tyrant Wing, and now we're off to the Fusion monsters. So all of these decks come with some pretty intensely already built Fusion or extra deck, basically. So we have Dark Paladin for your Timaeus, Amulet Dragon for Timaeus again. We have Dark Magician Girl, the Dragon Knight, again for Timaeus. As you can see, he is on the card. We have Doom Virus Dragon for Critias combos with Mirror Force. Tyrant Burst Dragon for Critias again with, I believe it's Tyrant Wing. Yeah, Tyrant, obviously. Mirror Force Dragon is Mirror Force, pardon me. Doom Virus is for Crush Card Virus. My bad for that. But yeah, this one is actually very, very good. When a monster you control is targeted for an attack or by an opponent's card effect, destroy all cards your opponent controls. I mean, boom. That is very, very strong. And honestly, it's not hard to summon. You have to use your Mirror Force, obviously. And then you just have to use, I believe it is Critias, yep. Send 1 trap card from your hand or field to the graveyard. So you just have to have Mirror Force in your hand or in your grave. And boom, you use Critias to get Mirror Force Dragon. Pretty easy to do if you have a very budget deck and you use 3 Mirror Forces. Very, very easy to spam that monster. Time Magic Hammer, so Hermos, 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 and Hermos. Hermos basically is just, you use monster types. So Dragon, Warrior, Warrior, and Spellcaster. And they all have some special effects, but basically they equip themselves mostly to anything. So these guys equip themselves. These guys just use traps in your grave, or in your hand or field to summon themselves, and they are very powerful by themselves. And these ones, well, they're more Dark Magician / girl related, but they are very, very good. So that is your first deck, the Yugi from the final arc, or rather the Atlantis arc. That's the arc with Orichalcos, if anyone's interested. It is a decent arc. I believe Little Karibo's series of Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged is currently playing this part of the anime. So shout out to that guy. He's very funny. Been following the series since the beginning, and I really like it. Next deck is the Cyber Dragon deck. So we have the brand new TCG exclusive Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon. Very, very powerful, very cool looking. I've been a fan of the Cyber Dragons since they first released, and this one is insanely good. 1 Cyber Dragon monster, so basically any Cyber Dragon monster. It can be anyone, like Dre, Cyber Dragon, Zwei, but usually most of them do have the name, the effect that changes their name to Cyber Dragon. But even if you have like Skill Drain on the field, they would be worthy of making this monster. So that is interesting. And it says 1+ monsters in the extra monster zone. So you can use your own, but wait. Must first be special summoned from your extra deck by sending the above cards from either field to the graveyard. So let's say your opponent just made a big ass monster in his extra monster zone, and you can't get rid of it by destroying it, or it's not unaffected by spell trap or monster effects. Boom! Use your Cyber Dragon and that monster to make this bad boy right here. and its attack becomes 1200 times the number of fusion materials, so that's already 2400. But wait, if you already had a monster in your own extra monster zone, this makes this bad boy 3600 attack. That's just insane. 3600 attack for, let's say you used a Link 1 monster like Link Spider or something cheesy like that, a Cyber Dragon which was special summoned the turn you used it, and your opponent's boss monster, and you just attacked for 3600 damage in your opponent's life points on that turn. It's just ridiculous. That is a very good monster that brings back Cyber Dragon to a lot of strength. Use Cyber Dragon in a ABC deck, and you've got yourself an out for a lot of opponents' monsters that they can just spam maybe. I don't know what deck you're going to face, but this is a very good out for a lot of things. We have some pretty interesting reprints too, like Cyber Repair Plant and Cyber Network, which were released in the Cyber Dragon deck originally, and they are pretty good. This allows you to do some searching and some recycling, while this allows you to banish, so you mill basically your deck, and then you can special summon your banished, well, when this card leaves the field, and it does leave the field by itself, so it's good, like that. But you can special summon one banished light monster. No, special summon as many of your banished light machine type monsters as possible. So that is good, but it does have a price to pay. You have to destroy all spells and traps you control at that point. And you cannot conduct battle phase that turn. Still, it's good. We have Chimera Tech Rampage Dragon, pardon me. This is pretty decent, honestly. You do need to use a fusion card to make it, contrarily to Mega Fleet, but it is pretty easy to make and can do a lot of damage, and honestly can destroy stuff on your opponent's side, so it's pretty good. Cyber Dragon Infinity, so many reprints for this card, honestly, but I guess you never have too many, and it is a pretty good look for an ultra rare. I mean, it does look pretty nice. So yeah, pretty interesting reprint, I guess, but it is easily makeable in this deck, so go for it. Cyber Dragon, obviously, there are other copies of Cyber Dragon. 3 Cyber Dragons, they had to separate them like that. So you have 3 of the original artwork of Cyber Dragon. I do prefer this artwork to the other ones, but hey, that's my opinion. What about you? What artwork of Cyber Dragon do you prefer? Do you prefer the darker one where it's more of a snake on the ground thing? Do you prefer this one? Maybe I forget about another artwork, I'm not sure. I know the Japanese versions or the OCG versions have multiple different artworks, but here in the TCG I don't remember more than 2. There's obviously Toon Cyber Dragon, but whatever. Tell me in the comment section below which artwork you prefer if you have any knowledge about the other artworks. We have Cyber Dragon Zwei, which is, it's decent. It's not the best, but it does count as Cyber Dragon, and it does gain attack when it does, when you enter the damage step, so it's not bad. We have Cyber Dragon Dre, which is very good. This one can modulate the levels. It's got 1800 attack. It counts as Cyber Dragon. It's just insane, and it also has another effect if it gets banished. So I mean, it's insanely good, and it combos well with Cyber Network. Very good. Twice of that card, we have Cyber Dragon Core. Very good also. We have 3 times that card, and this one is the Searcher. Use this, search for Repair Plant or Network, go into your combos. It's insane. Use this to search and use it for Mega Fleet, and boom, your opponent just lost a card. You got a search, and you got a big boss monster on your field. That's a very easy to do combo, and you have 3 of it in your deck. Just go ahead and do it. Proto Cyber Dragon, and we only have 1 of that one. Yeah, we only have 1 Proto Cyber Dragon, which is very understandable. Would have obviously preferred if they gave us a 3rd Dre, or well, I guess a 3rd Dre would have been better. But this card is pretty usable. It does count as Cyber Dragon, and it's a level 3. So do as you may with it. Cyber Valley twice. It's not a very sought after card, but it is a very interesting card for combos when it comes to banishing and drawing and stalling. So pretty interesting. Cyber Phoenix twice. Cyber Dinosaur, it's interesting. It is a easy to special summon monster, I guess. Cyber Eltonin, twice. I just love that card. I used to run it so often when it came out in Shonen Jump back then. You just banish all light machine type monsters on your field and graveyard, and you destroy all monsters on the field. Well, send. You don't destroy them. You send them to the graveyard. And this guy has 500 attack for every of attack and defense for every of your light machine type monsters you banished. So that's pretty good. We have Armored Cybern and Machina Fortress, which is honestly not bad. It's got a decent effect if it gets targeted by an effect monster or a spell trap. If it gets targeted, yeah, by an effect monster's effect, or if it gets destroyed by battle. And it's easy to recycle. You just send monsters up to, I believe it's level 8 or more, from your hand to the grave, basically, yeah. So it's pretty good. It's easy to summon. It goes a long way, honestly. We have Cyber Repair Plant. 2 copies over here. Wait, we have 1 ultra rare and 2 common copies in one deck? What the hell is going on over here? Cybernetic Fusion support. So this is good for fusion summoning, but do be wary of the fact that you have to pay half your life points. It's like that hero card, but for fusing cyber dragons, basically. It doesn't have to be a cyber dragon, but it is very useful for cyber dragon fusions. Evolution Burst, it's okay. You have 3 of that. I guess it better be okay, right? Cyber Dragon cannot attack the turn you activate this card, which makes it sad. But if you use this with, let's say, Proto, this little boy right here, or this little machine rather, you use Proto, use Evolution Burst to destroy your opponent's back row, then go into Mega Fleet. Your opponent just got cucked real bad, and that's pretty good for you. We have Power Bond, which is a very OTK-ish card. We have Overload Fusion, which is honestly very, very good. Fusion summon 1 Dark Machine Fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials listed on it from your field or graveyard. So very, very good. There's no backlash to this at all. It just has to be a Dark Machine Fusion monster, which are included in the extra deck that comes with this. So we have 2 of these. We have Future Fusion with the Errata, which is kind of sad, but it's still pretty good. You can always do a lot of combos. You never know. Limiter Removal, so OTK oriented very much. Machina Armored Unit, so you can recycle. Well, you don't recycle, but your monsters die and you get to summon some other monsters, so that's pretty useful. Cyber Network, again, so you do have the Ultra Rare and the common version. Cyber Shadow Gardener, and the reprinted Mirror Force trio. I just love this. Storming Mirror Force was only a foil up to now, and I really, really like that card. Same thing for Quaking. I really like the card, but it wasn't only a foil up to now, though. It came in the previous deck, honestly, the Dino Smasher's Fury, I believe. And Drowning Mirror Force just became even more interesting lately because every deck nowadays just destroys the opponent's field before attacking directly. So Drowning Mirror Force is very useful nowadays. I love playing this card in my Frog deck. Honestly, it's just ridiculous. I'll show you guys a profile eventually for that deck. And now we have our extra deck. So we have Cyber and Dragon, which is a light fusion. But honestly, it's the typical one, and it's the original artwork. Everybody loves this card. It's just so good. Cyber Twin Dragon. It's okay. I mean, it can attack twice, so that's pretty good for 2800 attack, and it's easy to summon. You only need 2 Cyber Dragons. The bad thing about this is that most of these cards, like Zway and Proto, only have their name changed on the field. This card names while on the field or in the graveyard. So Core and Dre are useful for your Overload Fusion, but the other 2 cards, Zway and Proto, are not. So it's a little harder to make your fusions work using those cards, but hey, you can't have an infinite amount of Cyber Dragons. I mean, that would be crazy. We have Chimera Tech Over Dragon. this is the bad boy you want to go into for when you do your overloads. Cyber Dragon plus one or more machine type monsters. All of the cards you control are sent to the graveyard, which is kind of sad, but the original attack and defense of this card becomes equal to the number of fusion materials times 800, so it's minimum 1600. Each turn, this card can attack your opponent's monsters a number of times equal to the number of fusion materials used for it. So I mean, if your opponent has like 4 monsters that he keeps spamming or whatever, and you banish like 5 materials from your graveyard, this card can attack them all for 4,000 each. That is insane. Oh, and you have another Cyber Twin. But that is insanely good. And we have the classic Chimeratech Fortress Dragon. Cannot be used as a fusion material, obviously, just like the Mega Fleet. Must first be special summoned by sending the above cards from either side of the field to the graveyard. So if your opponent does play a machine type deck, and he has 1 or more, you can just send them all. It doesn't work on pendulums because they are not going to the graveyard, but still, it works pretty well for a lot of decks, and the attack of this card is 1,000 times the number of fusion materials. And we have another Chimeratech Rampage Dragon, which is dark, so it's easily fusion summoned with Overload, and you can destroy spell and traps up to the number of fusion materials, and it's 2 up. Obviously, you can, once per turn, you can send up to 2 light machine-type monsters from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, for each monster sent, this card gains 1 additional attack for the battle phase, during each battle phase this turn. So that's not bad at all. We have Cyber Dragon Nova twice because we also have our Infinity over here. So that's honestly a very playable Cyber Dragon deck, and honestly, if you get 2 of these boxes, you can easily do a Dark Magician, a Cyber Dragon, and a Pendulum deck, which is the final deck we're going to open today because it's the final one from this box. This video has been going on for a while now, I realize, and I'm sorry about that, but this is a review of this box. If you wanted the deck lists, I'm pretty sure you could find them already on Yu-Gi-Oh! Wikia or something like that, but honestly, this is a review, and we go over every little detail that we can go over without exaggerating, obviously. The TCG exclusive card for the final deck is Odd Eyes Art Pendulum Dragon, and honestly, this is a very, very good card for Odd Eyes. It is an Odd Eyes card, so you can use it for your fusions with Odd Eyes Fusion, and it is also a normal Pendulum monster, which has the effect that follows. If an Odd Eyes card you control is destroyed by battle or card effect, and it says card Z, so it can be multiple cards using Dark Hole, it can be a spell or trap because it's card, it's not monster, so it's pretty intense, and it says by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 Odd Eyes monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard. You can only use this effect of Odd Eyes Art Pendulum Dragon once per turn. So I mean, you can even suicide your own Odd Eyes cards, and just recycle them because it's pendulums, and you can special summon from your hand, deck, or graveyard. It's insane. We have Odd Eyes Pendulum Dragon, the original monster, but it has the alternate artwork, which is very, very cool. We saw this in the Dimensions box in Japanese in one of my previous vids, but I really like this artwork. It's the same effect and everything, it's same attack and defense, but it's got an insanely cool artwork, and we have the other Dimension Dragons in their variant artwork. Starving Venom Fusion Dragon in the special artwork. Very cool. Love it. One of my favorites, Clear Wing Synchro Dragon in its alternate artwork. I love it. This one I will definitely have in my decks, and one in my collection for sure. Just look at that artwork. Wow. Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. Dashing. And then we have the common version for Odd Eyes, and the Supreme King Dragon Odd Eyes, which was just released, honestly, as a rare, I believe. And we have Odd Eyes Phantom Dragon, pardon me. Honestly, this one is not bad at all. It's got a pretty decent effect for both his Pendulum effect and his Monster effect. And it is a level 7 Dark Dragon with 2500 attack. So, very relevant, honestly. Odd Eyes Persona Dragon twice. Oh, we have another Phantom. Okay, I'll put the Phantom with Phantom. And we have Persona twice, which is level 5, but it is a scale 1, so it goes well with the Arc Pendulum. And, well, it doesn't go very well with these ones, but, I mean, you can use the 4 and 8 to special summon some more level 7s. I think it's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I mean, it does work pretty well with the other, with the rest of the deck. And the effect isn't that bad either, I believe. You can target one face-up monster on the field that was special summoned from the extra deck. It has its effect negated, so that's pretty good. I mean, you pendulum summon this in defense from your hand, and you just stop your opponent from using their effects, which is pretty good. We have Odd Eyes Mirage Dragon, very good for going to your fusions, but it is not a bad card in your scales either. And we have 2 of these. We have Performapal Odd Eyes Light Phoenix, so go ahead for fusions again, and we have multiple copies. We don't have multiple copies of this one. Don't understand why we do not, but still very good. It's not excellent, but it is good, and it does have a decent stall effect over here. We have Odd Eyes Unicorn twice. This one. So this is why I don't understand why we don't have 2 Phoenixes. But hey, who am I to complain? I'm just the guy opening and reviewing the deck. So we have Performapal Odd Eyes Unicorn, and this card it's okay. Honestly, it's not bad at all. These two go very well together, and they also have good scales together. And they are good for fusion summoning, for this deck at least. So that's pretty good. We have Skullcrobat Joker. Very, very cool. This card is off the list, or at least, I don't remember where it is right now, where it's standing, but it is a very, very good card. And this allows you to go into your searches. It goes into a lot of combos. It's a scale 8. It's a dark level 4 spellcaster. You can do a lot of combos with it. This deck can be used for Z-Arc, obviously. You can do a lot of combos with anything Pendulum, Dark, and Dragons, Odd Eyes. So, very cool. Performapal Rain Goat. So, basically, we have a lot of Performapals to make this deck more consistent for the Performapal archetype. This card is it the first non-pendulum card? Okay, we have a ritual, but it's the only non-pendulum, non-ritual card. So that's pretty cool. Well, it makes it more, it makes it feel more unique in this deck, is what I want to say. Performapal You Go Golem twice, yeah, You Go Golem. We have Noble Dragon Magician, which is a tuner. This is why we have 2 of it, because we have some synchros in the extra deck, as you can see from the back of the deck and from this card, obviously. So very good to have Noble Dragon Magician. It is kind of hard to use on this part, because you need a Magician card, but yeah, you don't really have any, do you? So you can't really use it as a pendulum scale, which is kind of sad, but Pendulum Magicians are going hard right now in the tournaments, and this one is usable, so go ahead, and usually use it for a Synchro Summon more than anything, so it's always good to have. And Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon, because rituals are apparently still being pushed. But hey, it's an Odd Eyes Dragon. You can use it for fusion summons, which is pretty cool. And it does have a decent effect if you do get to summon it. We have Sky Iris, very sought after field spell for the Magician, Performapal, and Odd Eyes decks. It allows you to destroy some stuff on your field and do some searches and whatnot. Very cool. I do prefer the super rare, obviously, because it's a foil. But hey, it's good to see it as a common, and you have it twice, so that's good. We have Odd Eyes Fusion, very, very good card for this deck. You need this. Okay, you only have 1, which is kind of sad, but it is a very good card to go into your big combos for your Odd Eyes, obviously. We have Odd Eyes Advent to ritual summon Gravity Dragon. Is it hard to summon? That is what I'd never remember. If your opponent controls 2 or more monsters and you control no monsters, you can also send Odd Eyes monsters from your extra deck to the graveyard. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. That is good. And it's any dragon ritual monsters from your hand or graveyard. Wow. Does this mean you can use this for Blue Eyes decks if you have any Odd Eyes in the extra deck? Very interesting. Hey, very interesting. And it doesn't say face up or face down. So you can have some Odd Eyes, let's say this card was sent to your extra deck because it's a pendulum. Well, you can use it for your fusions. Go ahead, for your ritual summons. Go ahead and do it. Wow, that's good. Spiral Flame Strike hasn't been out for long, and it's already reprinted as a common. But it is decent in this deck, because it does revolve around Odd Eyes cards, and not Odd Eyes Dragon, contrarily to the cards for Dark Magician, like Dark Magic Attack. This card is an attack card for a main monster that is not specific to one main monster. So 2 of those is good. Duelist Alliance, twice. That is a very good reprint. A lot of people really wanted this card, and it was expensive. Very good, very splashable for any pendulum deck, really. It's insanely good. Very happy to see this reprinted. Pendulum Impenetrable. Pendulum Impenetrable. This turn, cards in pendulum zones cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. That's good. It's a quick play. Also, negate any effect activated by your opponents that target a card in the pendulum zones. Good. Very good. 2 of those. Very good. Pendulum Storm, twice. Okay. Destroy as many cards in the pendulum zones as possible. Then you can destroy 1 spell or trap card your opponent controls. So it's basically like a Mystical Space Typhoon, although it's not a quick play. And it's good in mirror matches, I guess, unless you go against Pendulum Magicians, which get effect when they're sent from the pendulum zone to the extra deck, I believe. Or when they're just destroyed in the pendulum zone. But hey, Pendulum Storm twice. Always good. Pot of Riches. Shuffle 3 pendulum monsters from your into the deck from your graveyard and or face up from your extra deck. Then draw 2 cards. It's a pot. It's playable. This deck does spam the pendulums a lot, so it's good in it. Terraforming, twice. You have 2 Sky Irises, but you have 2 Terraformings. That's pretty cool, I guess. It is a very good reprint. It's been reprinted tens of times, but it still keeps its value. Echo Oscillation. Oscillation. You can target 1 card in your pendulum zone, destroy it, then draw 1 card. That is good, and it's a continuous. Very good. Pendulum Reborn. It's like Monster Reborn or Call of the Haunted for pendulums, but it's from your pendulum extra deck or graveyard. And basically it's back to the front, but it doesn't have a specific zone, like a specific position. So it's not bad, and you have it twice. Pendulum Switch, twice also, which is the last trap. You can target 1 card in your pendulum zone, special summon it. You can target 1 pendulum monster in your monster zone, place that pendulum monster in the pendulum zone. But you can only activate 1 of those effects per turn, and only once that turn. So it's decent. I mean, you can do a lot of weird combos with it. You have, let's say, this card in your pendulum zone, and you want it on your field to attack your opponent for 2,700. Go ahead, do your combos. Supreme King Dragon Starving Venom. So we have the Supreme King version. We have Odd Eyes Vortex Dragon. Very cool, very good. Performapal Gatling Ghoul. Never been very hyped, but it was pretty decent from Performapal decks. Supreme King Dragon Clearwing. Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon. Supreme King Dragon Dark Rebellion. And Odd Eyes Absolute Dragon. So honestly, the Odd Eyes support in here, at least for Odd Eyes, and Odd Eyes over here, those are very good. They were only foils before, I believe. And they weren't reprinted too often. All the Supreme King, though, I do feel weird having them here because they just got released in Code of the Duelists. So it feels kind of weird, you know? But they are pretty pretty playable. They are pretty good. I wouldn't complain about getting them as commons, I guess. Although they've only ever been rare and common. which is kind of depressing considering Supreme Kings should be supreme. But hey, we got some pretty awesome foils, and honestly, I can't complain about all the reprinted cards with different artworks. It just looks amazing. Overall, I would consider these decks very interesting for anyone who wants to make some theme decks, some theme duels, or anyone who wants to start playing with a friend or with 2 other friends. You buy 3 of these, you trade each other the cards you don't really need, and you can make each one of you have a very powerful theme deck that can play, maybe not competitively, but still it is very playable. So yeah, this video has been going on for a long time. I hope you guys played it on fast forward on YouTube. Yeah, but it's a review in depth, and you can see that a lot of these decks have some very valuable cards, some very interesting reprints. It's a very good price for it, honestly. And if you mix all 3 of them, you don't even need to buy another box. I mean, you can just use the good reprints for any like staples. I mean, you have the Mirror Forces in here you can use in any deck. You have the Terraformings in here that can be used in a lot of different decks. For those of you who want to make the Pendulum Magicians, this deck will be useful. For those of you who want to do some Dark Magician shenanigans, you don't have to play the Atlantis Dragon stuff. This deck will be useful. For anyone who wants to play ABCs, this will be useful because of the Cyber Dragon support stuff. And basically, you can also use the Cyber Ultanen, I guess, which is also playable in there. But if you want to bring back some awesome old school decks, these are very cool for you to play. And this is more for the more recent fans, I guess. So yeah, tell me in the comment section below if you enjoyed these decks. If you want to see some specific deck profiles, I will obviously be making a Dark Magician deck because I've been playing since the beginning of the game and I really like those. I will be incorporating these in my ABCs, or at least in future ABC deck profiles. So you guys might be, I mean, you should maybe expect a new profile eventually. Not much will have changed, but some stuff will have changed, and I mean, that is worth a new profile. I'm not a big fan of Pendulum Dragons or Odd Eyes or Pendulum, well, Performa Pals or Magician Pendulum cards. But if you guys do want to see a profile for that, I will work my budget magic and make it happen for you guys. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. As I said, in the comment section below, if you have any suggestions or requests, do leave them. I will consider them. And like the video if you liked it. Share it if you want more people to see it. We're almost at 100 subscribers, so that would be insanely cool of you if you get this channel to 100 subs. That would be insane. I would really appreciate it. There will be an awesome opening video to celebrate 100 once we hit it. There will also be a giveaway. I'm not saying what will be given away yet, but there will be a giveaway once we get there. So yeah, do share the video, tell your friend, refer anyone to this channel, and you just know that the content will become even more awesome with time. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, probably going to have one in the next week. Obviously, there will be one in the next couple weeks. It is midterms in the session, so there are a lot of exams. I don't have a lot of time available for a lot of videos, but I will try to at least use a couple older vids I film already for you guys. So I hope you guys will enjoy those, and I'll be seeing you next time. Penem out.